I was 10,000 feet up in the air and I stepped onto a platform, I knew I couldn't go the other way and climb back into the airplane. I knew at that time that I had to make a commitment. And for me, making that commitment meant more than just making a commitment of diving. It was a commitment in everything I do. We all need to be challenged. We all need to step out of our comfort zone. When I was a kid, I was influenced by my mother, who was an artist. I remember creating my first piece of artwork for my teacher. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an artist. So I decided to go to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, and there I decided, this is my dream, this is what I want to do. I went to my high school teacher, who was placed in my life for a reason. He influenced me to go into teaching, and I remember looking at him, I said, "You gotta be kidding me, I hate kids, I don't want to teach." He goes, "Oh, I have a feeling you'd become a good teacher." I listened to him, I listened to his advice, and I went into teaching. There I met a small pint-sized young 7th grade kid who had a mouth on him, couldn't believe. But I really took to him. At the end of the year, I remember he embraced me and he just thanked me for teaching him. I realized that was my shape after all, and that my dream of advertising was not my dream to have, that God had another plan for me. One year into retirement, I felt as though I was spinning kind of out of control, and I didn't quite know where I was going. I felt as though I wasn't trusting God enough in my life. My wife and 2 other friends wanted to jump out of a plane. This was their bucket list, and for me, that was not on my bucket list whatsoever. In fact, I fear heights. Lo and behold, once again, the Holy Spirit must have been speaking to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Dude, you need to jump out of a plane." And I stood up and I said, "I'm gonna jump too." And my wife was just, she couldn't believe her eyes. I said, I have not had the ability to really trust in God, that I need to step out of my comfort zone. I needed to do something risky and daring. I'm trusting God will lead me through my fear. When the parachute opened, I just looked at God's creation and I saw my life differently after that point. I committed myself after that point to be involved in more serving opportunities in our church. And there we had an opportunity to bring in a group of guys from the prison reentry. And I was hesitant at first about doing this, and I'm thinking, again, I need to trust. And so I went in with the intention of just meeting the guys and get a feel for it. And like teaching, here I was again in this role of mentor, teacher, coach, facilitator, and I was teaching a bunch of older guys that were broken, who made mistakes, and these guys have actually reshaped me in such a way that I know my purpose on earth is to serve, and how I know how fortunate I am. So here I am back in the classroom, so to speak, working with guys that, for some of them, have been in prison for 20, 22 years, that had made a mistake, and they are changed individuals. And now I am trying to help them identify their shape. And their experiences aren't anything like my experiences. If God can take a 25-year-old who had a dream, that dream became shattered, and place me in a new position to teach for 30 years in something that I hadn't a clue I was meant to do. If God can do that with me, He can do that with you. Because everybody has a shape, everybody has a purpose, and everybody has experiences, and everyone has spiritual gifts given to us by God.